Welcome back everyone. We now have Chloe with the top 10 on scary games. If there's anything you think we missed, let us know on our Facebook page.
Number 10, we have Condemned 2. With the game's dark theme, it makes it easy for enemies to sneak up on you without them being detected. The gross black goop that's everywhere just adds to the creepy feel of this game.
Used you, how he destroyed your life. Find him. Like you, he knows about them. And right now.
Number 9, we have 8 Bones of Children, a parody of the Slender Man game where you have to collect the bones of his victims. This is more of a trolley scare game as the scary face keeps popping up when Slender Man is near you. Number 8, we have Left 4 Dead. The scariest part of this game is when an unexpected horde of infected zombies lunge at you from nowhere, or when you accidentally walk into a red-eyed witch, whose only goal is to rip you limb from limb. Number 7, we have Hide. This game is more of a psychological terror as you play through a day in the life of a schizophrenic psychopath. The voices in his head yell at you as you live and uncover the deeds that he has committed.
Hi, Jenny. So that's where you've been hiding.
Number 6, we have PT Silent Hill. This is more of a puzzle horror as you have to pay close attention and detail to solve the clues in order to pass. But the ghosts of the murdered families are still pretty scary, especially when they lunge at you. Number 5 is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. The game has its scary moments when you are wandering around in the dark. It's not only the monsters that you have to watch out for, you also have to keep an eye on your sanity, because if you stay in the dark too long, then you will go insane and keep seeing things that aren't really there. Number 4 is the Slender Man. Many jump scares await you as the legendary creature, known as the Slender Man, hunts you down as you search for clues to your sister's disappearance. You only have a torch for light, and it doesn't help when it goes flat and you're left wandering around in the dark. Number 3 is Outlast. The soundtrack of this game has a constant feel of suspense as you play. This game has you exploring an abandoned mental asylum. Your only device that you have is your camera recorder. It's very useful to spot enemies up ahead by zooming in, or using the infrared to spot them in the dark. And number 2, we have the sequel to the animatronic terror known as Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 leaves you able to explore more rooms, but this comes at a cost. You can no longer hide behind the safety of the doors, but can hide behind an old mask instead. There are also more animatronic robots, both new and old, to watch out for. And finally, at number 1, we have Dead Space 2. The soundtrack of this game holds you at a constant feeling of suspense as you try to work your way through and survive. A few jump scares away as both the environmental and the necromorph sound test your ability to cope with the sounds and sightings that await you.
Hi guys, Chris here, and today I'm going to talk about how to get all the ores and minerals from easy mode in Terraria. In Terraria, you start out with nothing but your instincts and skills. However, I'm here to help you find out what you need to do to progress throughout the easy mode, in all versions including PC, Xbox and PlayStation. The first ores you will likely find will be copper or tin ore. These ores aren't generally too important, as you already begin with copper tools, but you may want to collect them for other uses such as armor and a few vanity items. Copper and tin will mostly be found on the surface and underground. The next two ores you will likely find will be iron and lead. These two ores aren't too important, but are definitely an upgrade, and will mine quicker than copper and tin. You will find iron and lead in the same places as copper and tin, and can be collected by copper and tin pickaxes. Iron and lead can be used to make many important items such as buckets and chains. Also, these ores are needed to create anvils, which will allow you to create armor from metal bars. Next 4 ores you will find will be silver, tungsten, gold and platinum. These ores are a lot more rarer than previous ores and a lot more useful, as these ores are used to create pickaxe that will be needed to collect more stronger ores, like demonite or crimtane. You will find these ores in the underground or on floating islands and can be collected by all previous pickaxes. Gold can also be used to make a few vanity items to decorate your house. The next 2 ores are different from the others, as you can collect them from bosses, and as you can only find 1 of the 2 in your world. These ores are demonite and crimtane. Both of these can be found by killing the Isle of Cthulhu or by killing the Corruption Zone boss. There is functionally not much difference between the 2 Corruption Zones, as both have similar uses. However, both zones have their own enemies and a unique boss. The Demonite Corruption Zone has the Aether of Worlds, whilst the Crimson Zone has the Brain of Cthulhu. These ores, whichever you get, are essential to get to the next ores. Meteorite ore is unique as it can only be found once a meteorite has landed, either naturally or by breaking shadow orbs or crimson hearts, located in the corruption zone. When collecting meteorite, it is best to use an obsidian horseshoe, as the meteorite ore will burn you if you walk on it. The only pickaxes able to collect meteorite are tungsten, gold and platinum. You'll also find a unique but weak enemy, the meteor heads, which you can easily fend off. Obsidian and hellstone ore are needed to create the hellstone bar, which is able to create the strongest easy mode pickaxe, the molten pickaxe. Obsidian can be created by having water and lava contact each other and then mining it with either a nightmare pickaxe or a deathbringer pickaxe, which are created by corruption zone ores. Hellstone can only be collected in the underworld. Hellstone is one of the tougher ores to collect as it creates lava when you mine it, which can kill you and destroy the ore you're mining. Hellstone also requires a nightmare or deathbringer pickaxe to mine. Obsidian is also used for a lot of different recipes, including creating the Abomination, which will create the Queen Bee boss. Hellstone doesn't have too many uses after you create the armor pickaxe, but if you have a lot of hellstone ore to spare, you might want to create the Fiery Greatsword, which is one of the 4 swords needed to create the Knight's Edge. There is also a lot of gems which can be used to make magical items and phase blades, which are pretty decent swords early game. There are 7 different gems available, which are Amber, Diamond, Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, Topaz, and Amethyst. While all the gems are special, the best gem to collect will be diamonds, as they have the best stats. You'll find all these gems in caverns underground, but you can find a gemstone cave which have higher concentrations of gems. A few other things you can create with the gems are the diamond robe, which increases your magic power, hooks which allow you to get around the underground a bit easier, and large gems which are used for the game mode Capture the Gems. As soon as you're ready, and you have everything you want from easy mode, there's only one thing you can really do, and that is to fight the Wall of Flesh. But be warned, if you can defeat him, it only gets harder from there.